Hi guys, I'm in LA. I came to LA yesterday. I attended Afrikon, and one of the speakers, Dr. Akintoyin, his speech really resonated with me. And I filmed it. It's about the diaspora, and I'm passionate about the diaspora. Please listen to it and let me know what you think about what he said. I think he made some really important points in there, and it will be good for us to discuss in the comment box. But good to see you guys. I'm here for just a few days for meetings, events, and to really connect with other diasporans as well. Yep, hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe. All right.
Keynote speaker, and when I say you do not want to miss this session, you do not. Our keynote speaker is a prolific, impactful individual who's extremely passionate about the African continent. I've heard him speak multiple times, and every time I'm left pretty much speechless. He's also a troublemaker, so don't be surprised.
Everybody, can you hear me? She almost fell down just now. You know why? She was saying bad things about me. So, good afternoon again. Thank you for coming. I'm going to start this presentation. I'll be giving 30 minutes. I don't know how long that will last for, but we'll try and make 30 minutes work. And when Dami said we were doing African events and he wanted me as keynote, thank you very much, as keynote, and I decided to come because I was bullied by Abia and Crystal to come. So I landed at Los Angeles yesterday, and I was going through immigration, and the guy asked me, "You are here again?" I said yes. Now, one thing about American immigration, you have to behave yourself. They don't care who you are. They will send you back. Back in the day when I used to travel, I said, they don't have respect in this America. They don't actually have respect. So the guy then said to me, "Why are you here?" I said, "I'm here to speak at the African conference." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because Africa, investment, opportunities." He said, "What's about Africa that is special?" Charlie. I said, "Because Africa has a future." He said, "Really?" And then said something interesting, two things interesting. He said, "But China has Africa on lockdown." I said, "No." I said, "Really?" I said, "No." I said, "Africa is the future, Africa is the past, Africa is the present. We own the world." The guy said, "You want to go to America?" I said, "Yes." "Africa is the past, don't worry, let me just go." But you see, for me, those conversations are very important. And when I go to conferences, usually I tell people I'm a buyer beware kind of speaker. Do not call me unless you want to hear the truth. I'm going to try and rush some of the truth in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to make this line available to Dami and the team. You can share it with you. And I never speak without history. Because I think part of the challenge is that black people don't know their history. And all of a sudden, you are digesting and processing what they told you about you. They said you are poor. They said you are uneducated. They said you are unsophisticated. I'm like, how is that possible? When we taught the whole world everything the world knows. So, I'm going to start with a bit of history. In the US, technology doesn't work. Because Africa will work. This is what they say about Africa, right? So my day job is running investments. I run the most active tech investment firm in Africa. We invest in the company every 3 days. We are tech, energy, we are sector agnostic. We are possibly the largest missionary company as well. So we invest across Africa, but most importantly, we also invest across the world. We are one of the few African investors investing in the US. We are invested in funds, in tech companies, in the Bay Area, in Los Angeles, in Dallas. We actually take Africa's money and bring it to the US so that we tell them we are not poor. We have money. We can invest with you. But most importantly, we invest in opportunities here that we can then take back home to Africa. But if you read the media, I'm going to summarize for you what people will tell you about your continent very quickly. They will say your former name was Alkebulan, which is not far from the truth, which means mother of mankind. Because Africa itself came from one Portuguese explorer called Louis Africanus and called us Africa. Can you imagine one human being called us his own name? They will say your nominal GDP is 1 trillion, what a job. And they will say you are 5% of the world's GDP. The last part of that for me is very interesting. $17 billion in remittances, 1.2 trillion buying power. This is what you get on the internet. You don't need me to tell you this. I have like 1,000 slides to tell you why this is wrong. Now pick 5 very quick. This you don't see often. You don't hear this often. We have the world's fastest growing middle class. In 2050, Africa will have more people working than Europe has people. The entire European continent will not be as big as our people in working population. We have the most number of mobile population in the world. We have 6 of the world's fastest growing economies. In the next 20 years, Africa will be the food basket of the world. Africa will be the tech capital of the world. Africa will be the resource capital of the world. We are young, we are growing, we are scaling. The future is ours, the past was ours. And you tell me I'm poor. The entire world's economy was built on our backs. All the phone we are using today, all the lithium comes from my continent. All the clothes you are wearing today, the textile comes from my continent. All the food you eat today, it comes from my continent. All the jewelry you wear today comes from my continent. And yet you tell me I'm poor. No. For 500 years we lost our minds because they gave us education and took our knowledge. They took our spirituality and gave us religion. No more. Technology has opened our eyes. This is on the internet. They tell you are a very small continent. How can this be small? We have almost every continent. Africa is the largest continent by width and by size. But the way the map is even built, it looks small. You start buying narratives that are not real about yourself. So if you're in diaspora, you come to America thinking you're a small person. This is why I stayed back home. I'm the king in Africa. I remain king. You guys can stay here and remain small. You know, the first African unicorn was became a unicorn, so unicorn is an interesting statement, which is a private company that becomes a $1 billion business. And the first one was about 6-7 years ago. I love my African brothers. Once we see, is there money there? And it's a book, we enter it. It took Africa 11 months to raise the first $1 billion in 2018. In 2019, it was 7 months. In 2020, it was 6 months. In 2021, it was 4 months. This year, we've crossed $1 billion for unicorns in the first 1 month of the year. We're now creating unicorns almost every other month. There are 800 unicorns in the world, they're not 13. In 30 years, we think we will have been a quarter of that. Don't forget our young democracy. We didn't have our land to ourselves for years. We just go back 60 years and we're learning, we're scaling. Even COVID could not touch us. We're the only continent that came out of COVID stronger, bigger, and better. Even COVID could not touch us. because of COVID, we now did more trade with each other. We went with, they banned us from traveling, but they didn't stop us from going to Accra, or to Rwanda, or to Congo, or South Africa. We're traveling among ourselves. Start looking inward. It's interesting what happened in Africa. It starts out from the growth to the inter-African trade. You know, our problem as Africans has never been opportunity, has been communication. We just don't talk to each other enough. And we then come to America, we don't talk to our African brothers here enough. We look down on them. We think because they are black Americans, they are stupid. Because we come from thousands of miles to succeed, we forget the sacrifices that they made when they came here. Then we are stopping our brothers' keepers. How do we expect to collaborate when we don't even communicate? The first reason why we got slave traded in the first place was communication. Everything you see in Western world today was learned in Africa. From science, to maths, to everything. We taught the word medicine, we taught the word agriculture, but because we stopped communicating, we lost all that. So the first thing for African for me while I'm here today is to tell you, look around you, you are from good stock. Your forefathers ruled this world as kings and queens. They ruled this world for 10,000 years BC. They ruled the world. I'm going to bore you with a civilization called the Kush. The Kemites, if you check how many few people conquered the world, conquered London. Only one Roman Empire conquered London, it was black. Go and check it from Sudan. Even Greece had black Roman Empire emperors. Did you know that? No. They go to London Museum, they buried him one day because he was black. Back in the day, the Kandakis, which now called Candice in America, were queen, were the warriors. They fought wars. The only war Alexander the Great lost was with Kandaki, a black woman. We have more history than you realize, and yet you are sorry for being black. There's never been a better time to be black than now. If you are black, clap for yourself. So, in 30 years' time, what do we look like? 1 in 3 people will be African in the world. Ah, amazing. So black will be a vibe. We're going to catch the vibe. For real. Guess what? Our entrepreneurs are 51% female. We are going to unleash our black women entrepreneurs in the world. How about that? They are going to be beautiful mothers, leaders, entrepreneurs, and king queens. So if you are a priest, they are going to look for a better queen, because they are going to be rich as hell. The future is feminine. The future is black. The future is Africa. So this is slide I like to use to annoy my fellow. So I have a PhD in finance. So I had to go to PhD to know I was stupid. You know, you have to become educated to know how stupid you are. Because education and stupidity are correlated, right? Almost everybody, in fact, almost everybody who has created something didn't go to school. So they gave us education to go to school and grade nothing. So me too, like a fool, I went to PhD and I shit, I didn't need this education. I'm sorry, go to school. I'm not saying don't go to school, please. But I hope you know that the education system was built after the prison system. It's a skill-based, it's a time-based skill reformatory system. So they tell you must go to year 1 to progress. So even if you learn it in 1 week, you cannot go, you have to stay 1 year. Like you're in prison, you have to be reformed. Right? So they took our knowledge and gave us education. So before a typical black man, and I'm sure if I say everybody went to school, you're not going to raise up your hand. You went to school. So before you even start making money at 21, 22, your life is almost over. When other people from other communities, the Jewish community, they start making money from 12, 13. So they have 10 years over you. That education, they never work for the guy that didn't go to school. We are so smart, we are so stupid. So they say this is our number. They say that's our real GDP. It's not possible. We cannot be in the economy creating the whole world and be this poor. How can you tell me the whole 54 countries is just 1.5 times India? So I did the research, at least my PhD, I put it to work. So I said to myself, I took an old boy, I took some economic index that they use around the world, money supply, everything, and I then took Nigeria. So actually, they say Nigeria is $400 billion. Our economy, Nigeria is $7 trillion, not bigger than India. Actually, we then did this number for the entire Africa. Africa is just equal to the US in terms of size, which makes sense anyway because everything comes from us. So if you start thinking you are poor from day one, you're almost ready to be at the table. But you know you are rich, you go to the table entitled. You are from rich stock. You are from rich people. You have land for days, you have gold for days, you have oil for days, you have cocoa for days, you have people for days, you are young, you are beautiful, you are bright. What are you waiting for? What? Nobody's going to help you here. You can stay here and create all the value you like. But the opportunity is back in the motherland. When people talk about brain drain, I laugh because that is an impossible science. I call it brain gain. For every African that moves to America, we are exporting and colonizing the world to be black. Now in America, I can eat more, I can eat jollof rice. Whether Ghanaian jollof rice or Nigerian jollof rice, I'll eat it. When I'm in a club, I'll hear Bonner Boy. All of you are wearing natives in America. It was not good. This is what it means to be African. By exporting our way of life. So that we'll teach the world the history of the world, which is Africa. You know, in Nigeria, I've done this before. I've said it. To boil you better, so you have to put your continent in resources. Tell me what is not in your continent, actually. What are you doing here, guys? Diaspora. You are making money, you are being taxed at 40%. See your continent, see how rich you are. God Almighty. Everything is here. You are now young enough to consume it. Look at it here. You are so blessed, you are cursed. So let me also quickly take you down memory lane. And this one I like to use to just create problems for people. You know the only species in the world that can create every type of human race is black. Only a black woman can give birth to any race. Everybody in the world today, Caucasian, Asian, Chinese, their ancestors are black. It's proved by science, by sociology, by anthropology. This is how we became white. Here's your story. Don't believe me, it's on Google. Google it. So whether you are white, you are red, you are black actually. So black is a vibe. Catch that vibe again, I'm telling you. I'll tell you on this slide one of the most important stories. Elon Musk is amazing rich. He's black anyway. The South African is black, don't laugh. By 1,000 years ago, a gentleman was so rich, he left his region, Mali Empire, to pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. He has so much gold that when he was going, he gave out gold on the way, he crashed gold prices. They had to beg him to buy the gold on the way back. His name was Mansa Musa, richest man that ever lived. In today's world, he's worth over $1 trillion. That's your ancestors. You've always been rich. You've always been beautiful. See how beautiful you all look there. Even hair. I can tell you by the science, by the architecture, by geography, how we became longer. There's nothing about you that's inferior, except yourself that you decide to be inferior. I won't bore you. So let's talk about diaspora then, because this is a diaspora event. All of you diaspora people here. How did diaspora happen? So slave trade, and I want to say this clearly, nobody is to blame for slave trade except us. Nobody sold us to slavery, we sold ourselves. Because I'll let you know that Europeans were in Africa for at least 400 years before they started trading us. They first came to learn governance. The first time Europeans came, they saw street lights for the first time in the Benin Kingdom. They saw how to make glass. They used to buy glass in the old Oyo Empire, take it and go and sell in Ghana for gold, and take Gold Coast and take that home to Portugal. They just gave us religion and gone, and we left everything to them. But diaspora happened in three ways. First, those that came by slave trade, they were forced. Two, by colonialism, they were coerced. Lastly, by people that came to school, independence struggle. And all of you that came to school here and will not come back home because you see we have no government, our roads are bad, we have no electricity, you rather earn your $10, $20 an hour here and live that life. Interesting people. This is the diaspora's narrative. If you are here in diaspora, you belong to one of these four. Am I wrong? Let me now tell you what UN defines as diaspora. Let me put you more. So, you see, there are a few phenomena for diaspora. Africa is not the only diaspora movement in the world. You have the Jewish diaspora, you have the Lebanese diaspora. Let me tell you what you're all doing wrong in America. Let me tell you why what you complain about in Africa has not changed. Because you are the problem. I'll give two examples. Chinese diaspora, Lebanese diaspora. First one, that is Chinese diaspora. Of 1.2 billion, they have just 50 million people in diaspora. Look at their remittances of 50 million people, $67 billion. You have better jobs than they do. They have lower jobs. Africans are the most qualified people in America. You get better jobs. See our ratio of diaspora to remittances. See the population. See their ratio. Lebanese. Look at Lebanese history. See their diaspora. See their ratio. Look at the Jewish diaspora. The population is 6.9. See their ratio. Why is it only Africa that we don't have money to remit back home and build stuff? Why is it only Africa that thinks that what Africa needs is just money? We don't want your money in Africa. We want your skill. We want your experience. The Jewish go back home and invest and partner. The Chinese go back home and invest and partner. The Lebanese do the same thing except Africans. You come back home and give us $10 and $20 and you think we are hungry. How about you build businesses? You build schools, you build networks, you partner, you invest your time, you scale up to build a place where you can only be recognized and you can be kings. Diaspora and African Americans around the world. Numbers are there. I'll share this slide with you. Only have 5 more minutes. They are telling me I'm talking too much because I think they are already worried. I need to show this slide though. See the black diaspora. 400 million plus people. 1.2 trillion buying power. Only 10% of that comes back to the motherland. Every other diaspora takes 50% back. You are investing in a place where you will never belong. Shame on you. And they talk about FDI. If even as poor as you are doing, you are remitting more than foreign direct investments. Now imagine if you then do more and add value to it and actually make it work. How about you stop sending them to people to build your homes? Go there and build it yourself, hire people, train them. How about you train a child, invest in education, healthcare? There are things that you have learned here that you can put back there and put to work. But no, you rather complain about government is bad. How about you man govern? Numbers are there. I'll share the slides in one they are real. There are various ways to partner with us in trade, investments, skills. We are actually doing better in Africa. We are scaling from Uganda to Kenya to Nigeria. I have a few of the African partners here that are doing great things. It is real. Money is flowing in. But let me tell you what is hurting the most. 95% of the money flowing into African tech is foreign. Not from you guys, from foreign, American, European firms. So all over again, we are being colonized. And you are here talking and spending money. So the money you spend in supermarkets here, they save it and take it back home. When you're now old, they're 65, you want to retire, you now go home, you say, who owns to say why? You say, hey, we colonize you again. You are building a future in which you all be tenants. I'm going to stop actually because this gets very emotional for me. It does. It does. I'm going to speak. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. Nothing to be gained in a life of normalcy. There's nothing to be gained in which you are not preparing for a life in which you can be a landlord. You've all come here to acquire skill. Amazing. What are you doing with it? When were you a last brother's keeper? When did you try even to invest in an ecosystem that has rewarded you? There are two types of you. Those of you that schooled in Africa and came here, you didn't pay school fees. You did free education in primary and secondary school. You didn't pay one school fees. And yet you say you were bad, but you came here and you excelled on our people's money, our people's savings, our oil, our gold, our cocoa. But you came here and you excelled. And you have the nerve to talk down on us back home. And if you were born here, what are you doing here? We have everything there for you to succeed. For everywhere you don't see shoes, it's a chance to put shoes on. Education. Everything about Africa is fertile. Everything, even the women. So my point to you though is that the diaspora is Afrikon. You've heard people. I'm an investor. I invest in a company every 3 days. We have over $1 billion in capital. We are scaling, we are growing. But that's not why I'm here. You can all play your part. The diaspora is extremely important in how we move Africa forward. Because Africa is the future. You have a role to play. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Dr. Hans, what are you waiting for? You've been in the US. When are you coming?
Now I understand why he doesn't like crypto.